Susan dropped by again yesterday. I don't know why she comes. I know she means to be kind, but I don't want her around. She just goes on talking. You can't get a word in edgeways. And I'm not interested in what she's talking about anyway. And she steals all my biscuits. I suppose she doesn't steal them, but she eats them all. And then she came around yesterday and she wanted to watch a documentary on camels. I don't want to watch a documentary on camels. Do you know there are 800,000 camels in Australia? I didn't know that. I don't want to know it. I'm just not interested. And she then told me that there were only 2 camels about 20 years ago. Illegal immigrants or something. And now they got 800,000 camels. And we had to watch this documentary, and she's talking all the time. So I can't hear the documentary, and I don't really want to listen to her, and she's not listening to me. And so what's the point? I couldn't wait for her to go. Oh, you know I lost my slippers. I couldn't find my slippers. I looked everywhere, under the bed, I went into the bathroom, and do you know where I found them? You'll never guess where I found them. I found them in the fridge. It must have been a burglar, with a sense of humour, obviously. I asked my cleaner if she put my slippers into my fridge, and she said no, she hadn't done. I said, who do you think's done it? And she says, I don't know. I said, it wasn't me, so it must have been a burglar. And then the postman. The postman never delivers me any letters. I buttonholed him the other day and said, why aren't you delivering me my letters? He said, I haven't got any letters for you. Such a liar. So I went next door to my neighbours and said, what have you been doing with my letters? I'm sure you're getting my letters and not returning them. And they said, go away. I thought it was so rude. Why should I go away? And then 2 days ago I went across the road to get my papers, and they said, I haven't got my papers. I said, what do you mean you haven't got my papers? I come in here every day to get my papers. They said, we haven't got any papers. I said, well, I have a bottle of milk. They said, we haven't got a bottle of milk, we're a chemist. A chemist, I said. Since when? I've been coming here for 20 years to get my newspapers and my milk. Bloody chemists, of course they're not a chemist. They don't know what they are even. Hey, do you remember? I had a most wonderful joke last night. Now, let me see what it was about. It was about a couple in bed, and one of them was a wife, I think, and the other was her husband or her lover. Anyway, she's snoring in bed and he's not sleeping, and he taps her on the shoulder, and she wakes up and says, what is it? And he says, I'm worrying. And she says, what are you worrying about? And he said, I'm worrying about the awful amount of money I know my next door neighbours. And she said, oh gosh, it was so funny. And she said, why are you getting out? What's happening? Why are we stopping? Where are you going?